Men, if you want to be truly respected by women, and more importantly, respect yourself, there are certain things you should never do. Too many guys make critical mistakes in their relationships that cost them their confidence, their peace, and sometimes even their dignity. But Stoicism teaches us how to remain strong, composed, and unshakable. So today, we're breaking down the 5 things men should never do with women, if you want to keep your power and self-respect intact. Welcome to Stoic HQ, the channel where we focus on mindset, discipline, and self-mastery. If you want to level up as a man, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Stoicism isn't about being cold or emotionless. It's about having control over yourself, staying grounded in your values, and never letting external forces dictate your peace. And when it comes to dealing with women, applying Stoic principles can save you from making emotional mistakes that can ruin relationships, or worse, your self-worth. In this video, we're going to cover 5 major things you should never do with women if you want to be respected, maintain your power, and build meaningful connections without losing yourself. Let's get into it. Thing 1. Never lose control of your emotions. As a man, your ability to control your emotions is one of the strongest indicators of your self-mastery. The Stoics believed that emotions should serve you, not control you. When you react impulsively, whether in anger, frustration, or desperation, you give away your power. In relationships, this plays out in many ways. If a woman says something hurtful, if she tests your patience, or if she rejects you, your response determines how she sees you. A man who overreacts to small disagreements, raises his voice, or storms off in anger only reveals his own insecurity. On the other hand, a Stoic man remains calm and composed, knowing that emotional outbursts solve nothing and only weaken his position. Imagine a scenario where your partner criticizes you unfairly. An untrained man might lash out, defend himself aggressively, or shut down completely. A Stoic man, however, takes a deep breath, processes the situation, and responds rationally. He understands that his self-worth isn't tied to someone else's words. The key is to pause before reacting. When faced with an emotionally charged situation, take a step back, reflect, and then respond with logic and self-control. This not only earns you respect but also ensures you maintain your inner peace. Thing 2. Never seek validation from women. Your self-worth should come from within, not from a woman's approval. Too many men fall into the trap of seeking constant reassurance, whether it's asking, "Do you still love me?" or changing their behavior to please a woman. This kind of neediness is unattractive because it signals insecurity and a lack of self-sufficiency. A man who constantly looks to a woman for validation puts her in a position of power over him. Women are naturally drawn to men who are confident in themselves, not those who depend on external approval for their sense of worth. A man who is whole on his own is far more attractive than one who needs constant reassurance. For example, consider 2 men. One constantly texts his girlfriend, needing her to affirm his place in her life. The other is focused on his goals, living his life fully, and allowing the relationship to complement, not define, him. The second man naturally commands more respect because his confidence comes from his own actions and self-discipline. The Stoic approach here is detachment from external validation. Instead of looking to others to confirm your worth, build confidence through purpose, self-improvement, and mastery over your own mind. When you validate yourself, others will naturally be drawn to that energy. Thing 3. Never make a woman the center of your life. A common mistake men make is making a woman their entire world, abandoning their goals, hobbies, and personal growth for the sake of the relationship. The Stoics believed that a man's purpose should always come first. When you lose yourself in a relationship, you lose the very thing that made you attractive in the first place. Women are naturally drawn to men with ambition, drive, and direction. When a man shifts his entire focus to a woman, he unconsciously communicates that he has nothing else of value in his life. This creates an unhealthy dynamic where he becomes dependent on her for happiness, which can lead to resentment and loss of respect. Picture a man who used to be passionate about his career, fitness, and self-improvement, but the moment he gets into a relationship, he neglects those things. Over time, the woman may feel less attracted to him, not because she doesn't care, but because he stopped being the strong, independent man she was initially drawn to. The Stoic approach? Stay on your path. A woman should enhance your life, not become your life. Keep working on yourself, stay committed to your mission, and maintain your independence. A strong man with purpose will always command more respect than one who abandons himself for love. Thing 4. Never argue emotionally or try to win. Arguments are inevitable in any relationship, but how you handle them determines whether they strengthen or weaken the connection. A Stoic man does not argue emotionally or engage in petty battles just to win. Instead, he approaches conflicts with logic, patience, and wisdom. When emotions take over, arguments escalate into shouting matches, hurtful words, and unnecessary damage. A man who loses his temper or becomes defensive shows a lack of control, which diminishes respect. On the other hand, a Stoic man listens, assesses the situation, and responds calmly. His goal is not to prove he's right but to find a resolution or, if necessary, disengage. For instance, imagine a couple arguing about plans for the weekend. A reactive man might snap back in frustration, trying to assert dominance. A Stoic man, however, would pause, acknowledge the woman's perspective, and respond with reason instead of emotion. This keeps the discussion productive rather than turning it into a power struggle. The key takeaway: control your reactions. If an argument starts turning emotional, step back, breathe, and choose your words carefully. And sometimes, the best response is no response. Walking away from unnecessary conflict is a sign of strength, not weakness. Thing 5. Never neglect your own standards and boundaries. Your standards and boundaries are a reflection of your self-respect. If you allow a woman to overstep your boundaries without consequence, you are teaching her that she can disregard your values. A man without firm standards is a man who can be easily manipulated or taken for granted. This doesn't mean being controlling or inflexible. It means knowing what you stand for and refusing to compromise on your core principles. If a woman consistently disrespects you, belittles you, or tests your limits, and you let it slide, she will lose respect for you over time. For example, if you set a rule that you won't tolerate dishonesty, but you catch a woman in a lie and ignore it just to keep the peace, you've shown her that your words have no weight. A Stoic man, however, would address it calmly and, if necessary, distance himself from the situation. The Stoic approach is simple. Communicate your boundaries clearly, enforce them consistently, and be prepared to walk away if they are not respected. A man who stands firm in his values will always command more respect than one who bends to please others. To be a Stoic man in relationships, you must remain emotionally strong, independent, and focused on your purpose. The principles we've covered today will not only improve your relationships but also make you a more disciplined, respected, and powerful man. Let's quickly recap the 5 things you should never do with women. 1. Never lose control of your emotions. Stay calm and composed. 2. Never seek validation from women. Your worth comes from within. 3. Never make a woman the center of your life. Your purpose must come first. 4. Never argue emotionally or try to win. Seek wisdom over ego. 5. Never neglect your own standards and boundaries. Demand respect by respecting yourself. Mastering these principles will set you apart in your relationships and in life. If you found this video valuable, hit the like button and subscribe to Stoic HQ for more insights on mindset, discipline, and self-mastery. And let me know in the comments, what's one lesson that changed how you approach relationships? Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay strong, stay stoic.